Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
How are we going?
Good.
Nice.
Very good.
You stop pinging.
I'm pinging. Hello, Christy.
I'll take a photo of this before we get started.
We'll get going in a minute. Tess is just exercising her nail polish cleaner with essential oils.
I have
Does
just,
it work?
because I'm going to paint my nails for convention. So I've tried out a new nail polish and I really liked it. And then I saw the post up to use lemon and vinegar and, for cleaning. And I kind of did the lemon and vinegar thing and it didn't clean it off for me at all. I don't know if it's my vinegar or whatever, but anyway, that didn't work for me. So I just used straight lemongrass and, just like that.
Ah.
Straight lemongrass. Boom. Quick. Clean, faster clean than I've ever used anything on my, any of the chemicals.
Wow, that's great.
That's really quick, yeah. So I'm going to post that. I might try the other, someone said wintergreen as well. Because I know wintergreen can be used to whiten teeth. I've never tried that. Might strip, I don't know, it might strip the enamel off my teeth or something. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, that was my bit of fun just then.
All right. Yeah, I think so. I've got a few people on this evening, which is cool. Let's kick off. Has anyone got any questions they'd like to fire off with and ask us, as we normally do at the start of the session? Anything major they want answered? No, we're all good.
Who's had some successes this week?
I'm just making sure I haven't muted anyone because no one's saying anything. All right, we're all good. I'll share quickly. We've had a couple of discussions in the last couple of weeks just with some of the leaders in the business just around the ongoing ethics of doTERRA and the way we operate our business and the importance of realizing that there are over 20 million people in this country and we don't need to start being silly about one person signing up with someone else where you may have given them a sample. Just be really grateful that they've got the oils and move on. But interestingly, I got an email last night from a lady called Melanie saying, I've been a member of doTERRA for quite a long time. I've reached out to my upline and I can't get anyone to respond to me. I've signed up my first enrollee yesterday. So she's been a wellness advocate for 5 years. She's actually been on and ordering for 5 years because her daughter's been ill and she loves the oils. But she's now realized that this can be a business opportunity and she started sharing, but she doesn't know who to talk to. And she found us through the internet and through her sister who has found us online. Would I mind talking to her? So I sent her an email with a whole heap of links for information, and Tess and I spoke about it, and I eventually got hold of her this afternoon, and it just shows, you never know. She was enrolled by a lady down in Albury, and the person who enrolled her actually gave up on doTERRA 3 years ago and disappeared and fell off. So she had no contact with anyone else in the business. And so we had a long chat and she was telling me that she uses the oils. Her daughter's had some surgery and has now enrolled the first person, but she's really looking for support. So I invited her to this webinar this evening. She's not on at the moment because she was busy. What I did is I actually went with her and logged into her back office and checked her upline. So we worked our way up the upline and found a mutual point, which was Nat and Andy Goddard. So we know that that's where it started. But that's in America, and obviously Nat and Andy are not going to support her in Albury because their business is global and hundreds of thousands of people. And then we worked our way back down, and we found a gold wellness advocate and then a diamond in her tree that are not Andy and not Nat and Andy. And I emailed them and just said, hey, it's Craig and Tess. We're wellness advocates in Brisbane. We've approached by someone in your downline. We've given her a whole heap of tools and information and websites and Facebook, but she's looking for support and she's keen to build. Would you be able to reach out or at least find someone to support her? And I thought, well, I don't know where this person is. And within a half an hour, not kidding, Andy, who is the doTERRA Diamond, Adam, emailed me back and said, Craig, thank you. It's this sort of approach to the business that is why Australia is growing as quickly as what it is, because people don't try and poach business from anyone. They're all supportive. They help each other. And it turns out that he is from Sydney originally and now lives in Ireland, but he's back in Australia for the convention, and he's running a training course in Albury on the 22nd of March. And he will be inviting Mel to the training.
It's very cool.
And he's got a gold leader in Albury who's hosting the training, and they've now reached out and found Mel, and she is so excited that we've been able to connect her back into the business. And it's no skin off my nose. It took me 15 minutes to talk to her and send her a couple of emails, and she'll probably end up being on this webinar at some point. But the reality is, I'm just really happy she's got the oils. And I'll get to meet Andy now at convention and be part of a broader network.
He's going to have a new mate at convention.
Yeah, there's another bloke at convention.
But I think we've actually just been dealing with a few things in the last really few months, I'd say, where I think there's maybe just sometimes a smaller mindset amongst people. So this is a great example of if someone is already enrolled and if they're not having the support from their upline, there's one of two ways you can go. And I know Jesse's written about this the other day as well and wrote about it beautifully. One of two ways you can go. You can choose to say to this person, okay, you're welcome to come over to my tree, and this is the way that we don't want to do that, okay? So you can say you're welcome to come over to my tree, and I will support you, and I will do this for you, and da-da-da-da. But it means you've got to stay off ordering for 6 months and go down that route. We don't want to do that. We want to encourage people to stay exactly where they are and help them find their upline and make the connections with people in their upline. So I think what we've done here today for that is going to be, it's the best for everyone involved. And it could have been so easy for us because we want more builders in our fifth leg. Could have been so easy to say, yeah, come on over, we'll support you, we'll look after you, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the way to do this business. So that's I think it was a really good example of how this can work out.
Absolutely, and what goes around comes around. So we'll move on and find someone else to have a chat to. Yeah. We've got a couple of extra people who've joined on.
Right,
anyone got any burning questions who might have just joined us?
Annabelle.
It's not really a burning question, but it does flow on a little bit from what you were just talking about. Although this relates to someone who yet enrolled, but I had an inquiry through my website last night because I just put an offer out there to give samples of the Ice Blue nil samples with part of the March promo, and a lady commented and said, I love doTERRA products, I can't remember, happy to open an account, or I don't know, something like that. I said, have you got already working with, I sent her a private message and said, are you already working with someone? I'm happy to help you, but you said you love doTERRA products. So it's somebody's already given you samples or oils, then you really should go back to them. And she said, oh, no, I used to be with Young Living, and she did buy, I think she said an oil, I don't think multiple, but I think an oil from someone at the markets. And I said, well, if you want to go back to them, that's fine. Otherwise, you know, I'm happy to help you. And she said, well, they never got back to me and they never followed up, so I'm happy to, you know, come to me. And so, I mean, I think that's okay. Is that okay? I mean, it hasn't happened yet. She's got to think about it, but, you know.
Absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, if someone doesn't follow up and someone doesn't, and it's also the person, it's their choice. So she can choose to come to you, or she can choose to go back to the market stall where people have not followed up. And it's not like there's a personal relationship or anything there, and you've asked the question as well, so it's not like anyone's actually invested any time or sat down and explained how things worked and given samples and all of that. So I'm totally okay from our perspective.
I thought that was okay, but it sort of flowed on from what you were saying, so I thought I'd just
Look, I think there's a lot of people who get introduced to the doTERRA oils at the markets, because everyone who goes to the markets, they go and have a little sniff and they have a little that, but it's the onus is on the people at the market to actually, once they've sampled someone, is to ask for their information and do the following up, just like everyone else. And if that's not the case, then, I mean, you know, then this sort of thing will happen, and they will find someone who they can trust and talk to and build a relationship with. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good one.
Thanks.
Cool bananas.
Not to worry. Any other questions? Otherwise, we're going to have a chat about classes a little bit. No. Cool. Did you want to?
Yeah, I can do that. I had a few people ask about how do we, when we have classes with people, how do we open and how do we close those classes, and how do we talk about everything that's important? So I thought I might just ask you guys, how do you open classes? I know Tanya's burning to speak, aren't you, my dear Tanya? Are you burning to talk?
You froze. I don't know what you said.
Oh, I froze. Okay, so
I got Tanya, and I was like, oh, what?
Okay.
Whatever you would like to say, you can say it. It's all right.
So the topic of discussion would be, just so that you know, the topic of discussion would be how to actually open and close a class. So open first or close first?
So I would say with my open, I always tell my story of what just made me go, oh my goodness, these oils are different. So I've got a couple of versions of that, but definitely the one is where Tess gave me a little keychain for my birthday and had previously suggested on a number of occasions, you really must take a look at these oils. As a massage therapist, I've actually worked with 4 different ranges prior to doTERRA. And I had a shelf, like stock, and was all set up. And I said, look, I'm really not interested in any other product, anything else, nor investing any more money. And so in a little stroke of genius, Tess gave me a keychain with 8 different oils for my birthday, and you can see that cheeky little smile on her face. She knew exactly what she was doing. And as soon as I smelt them and started to use them, I was just like, damn you, because I knew I just had to get them. So I was like, right, those once they're all gone, I'm changing. So it was just a matter of time to sort of clear the shelf off. So for me, it was just like the realization that it's hard to explain, but when you smell the oils, and the one that I love to share with people the most is actually lemon. And lemon or lime, actually. And I often will say to people now, when you buy an oil, the purity is what you can smell. And so you know that you've got a pure oil when you smell it, and you can actually smell what it is. And I said, just close your eyes for a second and have a smell of this. And if you do it with the lime or the lemon, people go, and they open their eyes and they kind of look at the bottle, and it's like disbelief that it's, I haven't just cut a fruit and popped it in, or grated a lime.
Yeah.
So that's how I tend to open, and I love to share that little story, and how, you know, how Tess was ever so generous, but at the same time I was like, oh, now I have to go and change my range, and yeah. So that's my open.
Look at you, you've just gone silver. I love it.
It's hard to not. It's not. Yeah, and it's just they are such a beautiful range, and the other thing that I find really easy to talk about is just how I have a little one-liner. Say, look, you know, people often say, how much are the oils, and where do they come from? And I'll say, look, they come from all over the world, and every single oil has its own story. And I love the fact that it's not like there's a farm where they're just farming all the oils, but every single oil. And I'll say, you know, you can pick an oil and there's a story and there's a family and there's a community that is benefiting from it. And it's not only helping us, but it's helping someone on the other side of the world create jobs and just have an opportunity that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
Absolutely.
So,
That's great.
That's nice, Tanya. You know, if you spoke to me like that, I'll get a nice warm fuzzy feeling. That's for sure. So that's lovely. Anyone else want to share maybe how you open a class, or what were the first words that come out of your mouth?
You picking on us?
hi.
No words.
Hello.
Hi.
It's very quiet.
Okay. Would you like for me to share?
Go.
All right. Have I frozen again? No, I think I'm okay. Okay, so I would normally absolutely begin a class by, after saying hello, is to actually say to people, we're going to be doing a class, and in this class I'm going to educate you. This is before I tell my little story as well. So I'm just going to sort of put it there to them, especially if they're sort of 6, 7 people and or a larger group of people there. I make it very clear that it's not a party, that it is a class, and we're going to be educating people. And I would say to them, and you can maybe take from the way that I sort of put it out there first to people what they can expect. And this is from my teacher days. You know, when the teacher writes in this lesson in the top of the blackboard, in this lesson you will learn about this and that and that and that and that, so that we know we're going to cover all of these things, and then we also know there's no hidden surprises in there. So the way that I talk about it would be basically as a teacher in front of a class, and I'd say to them, I'll be educating them on this night or on this, you know, in the next hour. We'll be educating them on how they can partner with the essential oils for their own health and their family health, which means that we're not just going to experience the oils, but I will mention to them that there are supplements as well. And secondly, how they can sort of slowly over the next few months, on a month-to-month basis, how they can start to change over their home and all the cleaning products and all the toxicity in their home to a more natural way of living. And it's something that they, you know, that the loyalty rewards program, which we'll talk about later, but already I'm mentioning it, that allows you to actually bring in sort of on a monthly basis, start to change things slowly but surely in your family and in your home and everything. From that perspective, skincare, all of that, I will say to them, I will educate them and show them how they can save by getting their own wholesale membership, which will cost them $35. Okay, so immediately you'll just throw it out there. That's what I often do. And how they never have to pay retail prices for these essential oils. And also then I'll say to them how they can get their oils. We'll talk about how they can get their oils for free through a rewards program, and how they can basically offset their shipping costs for these oils for free points as well. And normally by then people go, oh, this sounds pretty good, right? And I've already said to them, this is what we'll educate them on, how they can get all of those things. And I normally say, how does that sound? And they go, yeah, pretty good. Let's go. In the middle, I'll get that out of the way because that's my teacher. Says this is what we'll cover. And then I'll say to them, okay, so this is my story. Tell a little bit about my story. How I just actually never even smelled an oil before I got my kit. Just signed up, knew it was something, just knew I had to have the oils. And we'll tell a little bit about how we've experienced the essential oils in our home and in my clinic room as well. And then we'll go through the Empower Kit. So it doesn't always take that shape and form. I do look at who my audience is, and again, that sort of comes more from teacher days. But normally if there's a larger group of people involved, that's how sort of, the basics around it. Just let people know what they'll experience. Go through the Empower Kit. And the way that I normally look at the Empower Kit is I start off with the bottom part is what are your main concerns that you would like to have covered. So immediately you tell people what to expect. Secondly, you tell your story. Thirdly, you ask them what is it that they want to get out of these essential oils, because those will be the oils that we're going to smell. And Tanya, lemon just about always comes up there anyway, because people are after toxin-free living and, cleaning and whatever. Lemon can be used for so many things, mood support. And we basically go from there, and we will go through the basics of the loyalty rewards, and we'll take a little bit of time. I'll mostly talk about the Home Essentials kit, but I will focus on the experiencing the oils based around what people have mentioned their main concerns are. So if someone says it's pain, we're going to smell the blue. If someone says it's sleep, we're going to actually smell lavender peace or lavender. So actually focus it around people, and I think you hold their attention more when you do that, and they start talking about their story. And if you've got someone else who's already a member, they'll throw in their experience. That's fantastic if you actually have someone there who's already had. And then we'll just normally say, share the oils, have a bliss ball, whatever it is. And I will also say to them, whatever your plan is, if I have an oil that I want to share, or if my host has a lucky draw, we'll do a lucky draw. We'll say to them, anyone who signs up tonight goes in the draw, and also fill out a little slip that says, will you host a class? Will you be interested in hosting a class between 4 to 6 people? Write their number down on the slip, and that all goes in the bowl, and that can be a lucky draw as well. We've done that before. And then we'll just end it up by sort of saying, before we eat more or mingle more, you have an opportunity now to have some one-on-one time and pick your oils, fill out the form, decide what you want to do, and I'll spend some time with you. Get the host to assist as well. So that's basically how we do it. Does that sound all right to you guys?
Quick and simple. That was a class in 5 minutes.
Done.
Annabelle, you want to add to that?
No, I want to ask a question actually. So I haven't, this might sound a little bit crazy, but I actually haven't done a cooking with essential oils class.
Ah.
I know. It's all over the website. I have done an online version, but I haven't done a live cooking with essential oils class. Yeah. And I'm doing one at the end of the month for a girl who's in my team, the next person, is a big cook, and she wanted to get some friends together and do a cooking with essential oils class, which is great, and that's fine. And I think we're going to meet beforehand to talk about the format, but I'm not sure where to bring the class and the education side in amongst the chaos of, it's an evening class. I'm not saying we're going to be cooking lots of things. I think it's probably more demo and sampling, and she's happy to do the actual cooking demo while I'm talking to it. So I'm not having to do all of it, but I'm wondering, sort of where in that format do I do all of the education first and then we do the cooking, or
I'll do half and half. So I would possibly just do exactly as I've said now, as in say to people, this is what you can, like that first bit that I said to you. I'd probably go there and actually talk a little bit about what they can get with these essential oils, talk about the fact that they're food grade, talk about the fact that you're going to show them in cooking that you can use it, and just talk about very briefly around maybe smelling one or two of the oils that you're going to be using in the cooking or as you're cooking, do that. So I definitely, I'll put it out to people that right from the beginning, that there's ways to save. That's a $35 sign-up fee, and just that first lot that I spoke about. Maybe not concentrate so much about everything else that's on the Empower kit straight away, because it's not an introductory class. Don't worry too much about everything else. Focus on the smelling the oils and having the food as an experience with the oils. But I think it's important that you speak to them about their wholesale account and the loyalty rewards, and the fact that it's typically oils. Yeah. What would you suggest?
And maybe I'm wondering if I also address that main health concerns, so that they're getting that picture that they're not just for cooking, that they actually have therapy.
I would certainly do that. Certainly do that.
If you have a look at them,
and maybe I'll have the Empower sheets, and then we can refer that if we need to, or they can take it home and read.
Because if you have a look at that Empower kit, you can probably do the first 1 or 2 blocks, which is the introduction of where do oils come from. And you could then, when you start cooking, you could cover the block on CPTG and quality. And because you're maybe putting a couple of those drops in while you're cooking, and then pass that oil around while you talk about their top quality, and they come into Australia as food grade. And then on the bottom right, there's the pyramid of using the essential oils as the base for your health. And that could be while you're cooking, and obviously there's cooking going on and people are sitting watching, you could then go into that and say, just remember that the cooking is only part of this base of health, that you could use the oils as part of that, but there are all these other things that you would use in your healthy lifestyle, like supplements and cleaning products and all those other things, and happy to share with you what some of those look like. And you may have some of those out on display somewhere, which you can refer to at the end, and kind of integrate it, but almost split up that class into a couple of things.
I think Craig wants to come to that class. He wants to eat.
Liz, you've got your head to add as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that well, my experience anyway, is that cooking is quite a sensory experience. So if you add the aromatherapy side of the oils with the cooking, it's quite sensory, and I think that people who enjoy food respond to that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So Liz is going to do hand and back massage while they're cooking.
This is going to be a really big class, isn't it? It's great.
But I honestly, Annabelle, I love the cooking with the oils, but I honestly, what I've learned through cooking with the oils is the aromatherapy part of it.
Yeah, excellent.
Nice.
So the smelling, the taste, rather than the factual, if you know what I mean.
I do. It's funny. Yeah, my husband thinks that the cooking with them is the best part of the oils, whereas I think I've seen so much health benefit that I tend to kind of dismiss the cooking because it's just adding a couple of drops. To me, that's not really cooking. So whilst I've got what Annabelle cooks and integrating it, to me that's kind of the least interesting part of the whole experience. So I've got to remember that it's actually I do cook with them all the time, but to me it's not really that big a deal, whereas I get that it's it's a really different experience for other people.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the sensory side. I mean, like cooking.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
I talk about taste and texture. It really doesn't matter what something tastes like. If you don't like the texture,
you're
not going to like it. So if you extend that to smell,
No, absolutely.
that's quite sensory.
So
Yeah.
you could,
Yeah, no, thanks. That's a great perspective.
you could actually get quite creative depending on what you're cooking. You could actually blindfold some people and get them to smell and guess
Oh gosh,
guess
now
what
you're
you're
getting
cooking.
into it.
There you go.
Right.
You really do want to come back, Craig.
You think we're wine tasting here?
I'm just throwing out some creative ideas. It's one of those nights.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But Annabelle,
No, thank you.
don't forget to talk about the opportunity. That's really, really important, because everyone's going to go, I love this stuff. I love the oils. I love the idea. I love the smells. The whole sensory experience is going to go, oh, how do I get these oils? So again, it's not the usual introductory class, but it's a very, very good way to introduce people to essential oils.
Yeah, great, excellent. Thank you.
I've done one class with Tess and Craig. Well, we've done one at my home and then one proper class. And my experience would be where you write down what your issues are. And they could be cooking, they could be taste, they could be health, they could be also. I really think it focuses everyone and gives you something to follow up on.
Yeah, nice.
No, excellent. I think that's important. Tan, you had your hand up as well. You wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say to Annabelle, like, if it is a first class for most of the people that are there, I would think that it would be interesting if you could actually combine it in that initial, that initial home essentials kit. So like, coming up with things that you can actually create or cook with that uses the oils from the home essentials kit, and then maybe throw a couple of extra in just to sort of expand that possibility, but to solidify the home essentials kit with the use of, the lemon or the On Guard in little, protein balls or, whatever. We actually recently held a class, I'm going to do a plug, at Cafe Republic, who is in our team. And Pete, it was actually beautiful, actually. Pete, the owner, him and his wife Lena actually also use the oils, and I said, oh, could you do some protein balls for the class? And partway through the class he sort of comes wandering out and has a little chat, and then I said, oh, have you got a little something for us? And out he swans with his little protein balls, and he had two styles. One had wild orange, one was wild orange and the other one was digestion and peppermint, and the digestion and peppermint was smaller. The wild orange were a little bit bigger, and he sort of explained it that the wild orange was sort of a prelude to the dinner, and then the peppermint and digestion were like the after dinner type of thing. And they were amazing. So if you can combine the oils that are in the actual home essentials kit, I found that really great, because then it actually led us into actually talking about, okay, let's talk about the digestion and the peppermint, and it sort of, lets it weave itself into what you're already doing with that, the outline that's in the local Empower kit.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great advice, actually, really thinking through that strategically. Thanks, Tanya.
That's
even like I'm thinking like guacamole, as simple as your guacamole with your lemon oil and black pepper oil, but you talk about your lemon and then say, oh, this is how it can be used, whip. And I'm sure that your cooking is a lot more
Different ideas. It's great. Certainly, I think every class I've done, I think I've had chocolate bliss balls or slim and sassy bliss balls.
Yes.
But yeah, using the On Guard is a good idea. The digestion I've used in gin and tonic, that's not good. There's another idea. Okay, well, thanks everyone. That's really helpful.
I'm just going to put Christy and David. Are there any questions you guys have, or anything you want to share for your last week or anything?
No, actually this week I have struggled a little bit. I did sign someone up who wants to be a business builder. I've tried to follow up with her to organise this weekend to go through with her about the products that she's ordered and to show her back office and stuff like that. But for some reason, she's kind of, I don't know if she's just too busy or she's just lost interest, but she's a friend and I don't really want to push it. She did say that she did want a class, and I've sort of asked her if she organised one, and she hasn't. So I'm really trying to get out of my comfort zone, because I do know that's an issue of mine, and venture away from my friends, because I do know that it sort of puts you in that awkward moment quite often. So yeah, David is actually getting a lot of audios on tapping and stuff like that, so we can build ourselves up and get out of our comfort zone. But yeah, so I do find I'm a little bit slow on the momentum and stuff like that. But I think, yeah, I don't know.
That's okay.
I don't know,
That's okay. I think sometimes we just got to give people a little bit of space, but never forget, if they think they're interested, they are interested. It might just not be perfect timing for them, and that's perfectly okay as well. So I can understand a little bit of, a slow week or a slow month. We all have those, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's perfectly okay. Just keep at it, and you'll feel it. Just follow your guide, follow how it feels, and invite her to a cuppa, a one-on-one cuppa again, and not even talk about the essential oils, but just something like that. Just to let her know friendship is more important than the essential oils part of it, or the business building. So that would be my advice, and it's all good. She'll come on board when she's ready, and Tanya and I had the same sort of situation for a while. Tanya was actually staying earlier, so Tanya and I have been for a while too. So we were never pushy, hey Tanya? No, never pushy. So
I've got a question as well. I've got a client. She's a 14-year-old that's suffering severe anxiety. What oils could I use to help with this?
Okay. Have you had a look at your the Modern Essentials?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah. Okay. That's my answer to you, David. You've got to go do some homework and look at Modern Essentials. But there's some amazing oils. There's citrus oils, and anything with lavender in it. Even just have a look at the mood, sort of stress type of type it in. It is some of the emotional oils, peace. Can anyone else throw out some ideas for anxiety?
Let me just unmute Liz.
Balance, beautiful. Yeah.
And balance. Yeah.
Balance is wonderful.
Balance
is great.
Yeah. Balance is one of those that when you apply it in the morning, it's really, really good. So just apply that maybe on the wrists, or wrist points here, or smell a little bit under the feet. It's really good.
Wonderful.
Under the feet. There you go. Tanya is saying Modern Essentials app.
Can't read it.
It's upside down. Oh, you're a funny one.
There's so many.
There are so many. Patchouli, beautiful Suzanne. Yeah.
And use patchouli. That's great.
Yeah, patchouli is an amazing oil for calming, stress relief. Thanks, Tan.
Mm-hmm.
But just grab the app out and have a look. And seriously, stick your questions up on the Facebook group as well. And just make use of the groups that we've got, and just ask what people's experiences are with. We're not asking for medical. We're just asking for people's experiences. So there you go. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. Have we got something that you want to cover?
Any other questions at the moment? Otherwise, I'm just going to draw everyone's attention to Share Success again. We were down in the Hunter Valley last weekend and had a great weekend with Jane, one of our gold diamond leaders.
Gold
diamond leaders. How does it work? A gold leader. And had a couple of really good classes down in Singleton, and then ran a business training on the Sunday. and really got some great involvement from people. And I just wanted to share the way we did it. I'm just going to share this for those of you who might not have seen or haven't used it before. What we did is we have been through the Share Success Premier Planner. Just wave if you know what I'm talking about. You might have seen the Share Success Planners at some point in time. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Now, whether you're a silver builder or a premier yourself, or you're an elite, if you are building a business, then this is a good one to build towards. This is a really good one to use.
Yeah. So what Share Success have done, and obviously the guys in Share Success, which is Natalie and Andy Goddard. Andy is actually a graphic design artist, so he's created all of this material. So what we did on the Sunday is we suggested to everyone that they have a look at where they want to be later this year. So what are they building towards? Are they wanting to be premier, or are they wanting to be silver or gold or platinum or diamond? And we've then suggested to them that they go to the sharesuccess.com website and go have a look at their library. And under the library, and I can probably just show you that too quickly. Stop sharing, and let's just share the library. Share Success, share screen. Okay, so you can see this is the sharesuccess.com website. And from their website, if you just go to the menu and go to library, you can then scroll down and find all of the different guides that they use. But further down in the library, as you go down, you will find this section, which they call rank maps. So they've created a different sheet for someone who wants to build to elite or premier or silver or gold. And those are really, really good guides. So we've used this one that I've just pulled up, the Share Success Premier. And it's just a really good place to put down your goals and have a place where it very clearly sets out for you what do you need to do to become premier or gold. So in this case, for premier, you obviously need to have 2 legs with 2,000 volume in each leg, and those are legs that you have sponsored or have enrolled at least, and a total volume of 5,000. So if you're going for premier, that's a really good way to do it. But the nice thing about it is it then helps you put down who is that person and who is the second person, and then you can do some planning with them. So you can actually say, okay, we know we've got to run some classes. Let's write down when are we going to have some classes, and are we going to do some one-on-ones, and how are we going to get to this 2,000 volume in our leg. So it just helps you to have a little bit of a business focus and get a little bit more pointed around, if I want to get to this level, do I really know what I need to be doing? And who are the people that I can work with? So instead of just kind of haphazardly, I suppose, moving along, you can set yourself some goals and you can document that. So this is just a 2-page layout, and then it gives you a place at the back where you can actually put in people's names as it grows.
And remember, don't think you have to enroll 25 people. Identify people who will have classes for you, and you can fill all of that out from other people's classes. That's what we actually want to see in this business. So the more people who actually get involved and say, hey, I want to pay for my essential oils. I want to have the opportunity to pay for my oils every month. And, you know, all they have to do is actually host a class, and you duplicate yourself. So it's not you having to enroll 25 or 15 or 30 or however many people. It's finding people who will have classes, and they then get the enrollees. Because as soon as you've got your 2 legs up at the top, if you're silver, you've got 3 legs. All right. As soon as you've got your 2 legs up at the top, and you've enrolled those people, boom. Have some classes, do classes from classes,
get the momentum
and get
going.
the momentum going.
So what we did on Sunday is we challenged the folks who came to the business training to go and print off their sheet that they've set goals for. So some of them want to be Premier. There were a couple that want to be Silver by the end of the year, and there were certainly a few.
And they're all new builders.
They're all very new.
Very new builders.
And they've now all gone away and printed off their 2-page sheet, and they're coming back to their leader to share their commitment. So, I mean, we've said all along in these sessions that we don't necessarily think you should compare yourself to anyone else. You should set your own goals and plan things the way you want it. And if it says personal goals and personal development, that's great. That's like Christy and David saying they want to do Facebook videos. And well done, Christy. I loved your video. That's awesome to do a Facebook Live video. But those might be the things that you want to list here, that you want to do some Facebook videos and you want to run, get onto Facebook a little bit more. So list what those things are, because you always find when you write it down, you kind of remember and you get it done. So it's just some of those little step-by-step goals in helping you get there. We're not saying that you've got to do it in 6 months or you've got to do it in 4 weeks or whatever. That's up to you, and everyone's life is different and busy. But at least this way, you've got somewhere where you can lay it out and really document who are those people that are going to help you get there, and put some priority around what are the steps I'm going to take, how many classes or one-on-ones am I going to need to get there? And then you can track monthly how you're going with volume in each of those legs as well. So after the first month, you may have, in this leg, I've only got 1,200 volume. How am I going to get another 800 next month? And how many of them are you on LRP? So you start thinking about your business as a volume-based business. Where am I going to continue to put people and place people? Where am I going to put my effort to run classes and help? And where do I need to add power to my legs so that I'm going to be a Premier every month before I then start focusing on my third leg to go to Silver or Gold. So hopefully that makes sense. So I just suggest for you, go and have a look at that Share Success website. They've got some really, really good material. So I don't think it's worth reinventing what's there.
We don't have to invent anything. Everything's there for us. It's just so good.
So any any thoughts around, has anyone done any of that before or used any of the planners and done it in a different way perhaps? Annabelle, you've done any? Not? Okay. So I just suggest as a sort of a wrap up, because it was only really when we started building rapidly from gold to diamond that we kind of did that on a whiteboard, and now we've got a little whiteboard where every month we tally and check how we're going. And our whiteboard's not wide enough now because it needs to add a fifth leg, and so we're running out of space. But at least while you're building, if you've got something like that tracker, a premium tracker or a silver tracker or gold or whatever you're aiming for, I'd really suggest that you have a look at that and start getting into that habit of keeping track. Because then at least when you've got 4 or 5 days to go, you're going to have a really good idea of who's going to be ranking and are you on track to achieve what you're wanting to achieve in your business. And I suppose it's like having a business plan. If you're self-employed, you have a business plan, you keep referring to it, you check how you're going, and you focus on 2 or 3 important things that you want to do in your business. So if you are serious about growing this as a business, it's not a bad idea to have a roadmap or a tracking plan as to how you want to get there.
I think those planners are really useful because it just helps you to focus a little bit more. And yeah, as Craig says, it's just like a roadmap that you can help you to identify things. It also helps you identify the gaps. So whether you do it for silver or gold, or, you know, Annabelle, you'd want to do this for silver.
Annabelle's tracking on paper, which is fine. That's great.
But keep thinking planning, keep thinking these are the dates, these are the people, this is where they're at. Keep track of what's going on in your downline, and when you're just starting, you know, when you're starting out, I think before you hit silver, there's a heck of a lot of work that goes in to continuing the momentum. Once you get to silver, it's keeping, well, to get the momentum going, I think, before silver. And then when you hit silver, hopefully you've got a few builders in there and you don't have to do so much of the initial, you know, groundwork. They help with that momentum and they pick up on that. So it's identifying people who might want to work with you, people who might want to build, and just gently work on that relationship. And Christina, you guys, you've got the friend there, but it's a gentle working on that relationship, and just keep sharing about, keep sharing the essential oils, but also allowing the time for your friend just to enjoy and experience the oils maybe before she starts building.
Yeah.
Okay, work on having classes.
Okay, makes sense. One of the other things that we did share on Sunday when we were down there is one of the things we've really brought into our classes around sign up, and particularly around loyalty rewards, is we make it very clear that it is in their best interest to place their order between the 2nd and the 13th of the month. And we're very clear on that. And the reason we say that is because you don't want to do it on the 1st, because that's American dates and you stuff it up and it's last month's order, and that's easy to understand. And then we say do it before the 13th. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much you want to order, but fate will have it that the 13th is a Friday and something doesn't go off, and then it's Saturday, Sunday and Monday before you can talk to anyone, and then you've possibly already missed out on a product of the month or something that you may have wanted because you can't get hold of customer service because they don't open on a Monday. So we really try and talk to people about ordering between 2nd and 13th. Why? As well, from a business perspective, it just means you can plan your volume and you're not running around at the end of the month where it's the 28th of February and people's credit cards bounce. And that's just by accident. It happens. And then you've got to quickly, run around with customer service to try and resolve things. So we've brought those dates into our classes, and we position it as we want people to get the benefit and be able to speak to customer service if anything goes wrong. So just keep that in mind as an extra. So I think that's all I wanted to cover. It's sort of 23 past 8. Anyone got any questions off the back of that? Otherwise,
or comments.
Or comments. Otherwise, we'll kind of wind things down. Who's going to convention? Liz, Tanya, great, cool. Okay. We'll be there with bells on. Annabelle, you got a question? Yep.
Sorry, I've asked a few questions tonight. I've got another question going back to the finishing up, or how do you end a class?
Yeah.
I'm doing a webinar next Tuesday night on how I'm using essential oils for thyroid support. Yeah. And obviously in that webinar, you're basically talking to yourself. So, I'm going to do it in Zoom so I can see who's there, but I suppose it's just, I've sat through a couple of others that others have done, and they're using incentives to sign up now within the next, 24 hours or whatever time frame, and, we'll throw in an extra something like a keychain or something. I'm just one where you don't have that personal presence and personal connection. Do you have any comments as to how to really wrap that up and encourage people to sign up and not go on for 6 months?
I don't really know. I don't really have any super smart suggestions for you on that one either. It's not something that I've ever done.
Everyone's going to be registering with you beforehand, are they? So you're going to know who they are, Annabelle?
Yeah. So I can follow up with people. I've done it that way through lead train so that they have to register first. Yeah.
I think because it's so easy for them to just click and end the meeting, it's not like a class where you can block the front door and not let them go until they've handed in their stuff or their form. So you do need some. Yeah. It's like anything. You need a call to action at the end of your webinar. And that call to action has to be, guys, here's the link to register. You've got a special link. And if you use that link within 24 hours, I'm going to give you something extra, which may even be, they don't know, but it may even be, I'm going to come and spend an hour of my time with you and give you a personal wellness consult. If you don't want to put something as a reward or whatever. But you do need that call to action, and somehow you need to get that to them. Either email it to them once you start the webinar so that it's there, or in a or in the chat group that they can click on it in the chat on Zoom, or just copy it from there. So you must make sure that you've got that call to action before they disappear. And then you're going to have
maybe I did that at the front, like you, rather than at the end, even like you were saying, $35 sign up kit, and I'm going to bonuses don't disappear at the end or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
And make sure that they've got access to where to get that. So I've just sent you guys everyone an email who's registered. Thank you for joining me online. I'll tell you what it's all about during the webinar, but as soon as we finished, you're really going to want to go and open that email, because I've got some great benefits if you choose to buy some of the oils within the next 24 hours. Something like that. But
yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. So I think sending that, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be good to get some feedback on how that works.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I've had a couple of people, I think a couple of people, at least one, say that they've got people in their teams with thyroid issues that wanting to listen in. So there may well be a whole lot of people that already are using yours, which is fine. So, I just have to be very careful about all that compliance and all sharing everything from my own experience. Is that all right? Is that what I'm...
You can share from your own experience. There's no problem with it.
Yeah.
You're not making suggestions
You're not
to anyone.
diagnosing anyone's problems.
Oh, no.
You share from your own experience.
Yeah, no, I've got all of that. Yeah, that's cool. So, anyway, I'm so excited that made such a difference for me.
I know, right?
Thank you, Tess.
Thank you.
No, it's fantastic.
I think there's a bit of I think that's a really good thing that you're doing that, Annabelle. I'm wanting to listen to that, whether I can do it on the night or not, but I definitely want to listen to that. And it's something that I think we're having there's a bit of a thyroid thing going on for a lot of people. So I think a lot of people can benefit from that, and to have that sort of as your your offering, like because from your experience, fantastic. So thanks for doing that.
That's right.
I think I might have to do a pause because I'm starting to feel it. I'm telling you, the heat.
Well, I guess we're all just sharing our own experiences in the end, aren't we? So it's all good.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, so next week we're at convention, so there will not be a Thursday night hookup, but we're going to do after convention.
Yeah.
I'll be away, but Craig will man the
because what I'm going to do the Thursday after convention, we'll do sort of a post-convention update. So anything that comes out at convention that is worth sharing, and I know there's a whole heap of stuff coming, and possibly other product and some new rules around how we can make lots of money.
It's going to be exciting.
There's some new exciting things coming. Watch this space. There's probably some sharing around all the lovely things that we're going to buy at convention and all the gift packs and everything. So we'll cover off on some of that on that Thursday. It may not be a full hour session, but we'll see how we go. And then Tess is going to be away from the 21st, gallivanting around Central Asia. And I'll keep we'll probably do a fortnightly one or something there. But watch this space, watch on our Facebook group, and we'll share over convention any news that comes out. We'll get it up on the Facebook group fairly quickly. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
It's lovely just to have the regulars on here. I kind of look forward to my Thursday nights.
Excellent.
Seeing your lovely faces.
Keep going with all the March specials and keep building your business one step at a time. And we'll share with you guys from convention next week. And for those who are going to be there, we look forward to chatting with you at convention. Thanks a lot.
Okay, guys. Night-night.
See ya. Have a good evening. Bye.